Well, that's all for me. Just kidding.
Welcome to Friday Worship.
Welcome.
Today I'm interviewing the wonderful, the talented Lacie Wright.
Hi.
In case you don't know, this is my fiance. So today I just want to talk to Lacie about worship and guitars. I have a few questions to ask you today.
Okay.
What instruments do you play?
I play acoustic guitar, but my primary instrument is my voice.
When you lead worship, do you play guitar?
I have, but I prefer just leading without any instrument, just from the mic. When I first started leading worship, I led from my guitar, and I almost found that to be kind of a crutch because I would hide behind my guitar. And then I found out that I'm not as good on guitar as I would like to be, and we got a better acoustic player. And then I just started leading without it and found that it's so much more liberating for me, and I'm less distracted by where my fingers are going, and I'm able to just feel where we're supposed to go and worship better without my guitar.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the frustrations as a worship leader from just the mic.
For me, what's frustrating is trying to explain to band members what I want. So that's another really important thing that worship leaders, regardless of whether they play or not, they need to have some sort of common knowledge of musical terminology.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing.
And there's nothing, I know, more frustrating to a drummer or a guitar player than just do the Pat Boone, Debbie Boone, or the you know, we start beatboxing to a drummer, they're like, really? You know?
That kills me.
It does. It's so frustrating. And the thing that, you know, you want is you want synergy within your team. You want unity within your team. And so it's frustrating. That's the thing that's frustrating, I think, the most to me is when I can't communicate effectively to the team that I'm working with on that particular
That's the worst.
service. Because then I feel like they're not with me, and I feel like there's frustration and there's dissension within the team. And that's never good, because then, you know, without unity, the spirit can't move.
I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I am more able to direct than I am to lead.
That's why we work so great together.
Yep. I am more involved in the terminology behind the drummer 4 and 2 and give me the and the or and I am more involved in the particulars of the guitar tone and bass tone. And so I had the opposite struggle of you. I didn't know how to lead, but I knew how to work with the band. So do you have any advice for those that are leading worship that are on the other side of the fence, where I'm at, where I go, man, free worship or just going to a spontaneous time is like awkward. I feel like I'm standing, holding my guitar, saying words that don't even make sense. Right? So can you talk from now that perspective?
Sure. Just like a musician, you know, practicing your guitar, if you want to get better at something, you have to practice. So if you want to get better at your guitar, if you want to get better at anything, you have to practice. And as awkward as that may be, you need to practice free worship.
How do you practice, or have you practiced free worship?
I listen a lot to worship music, and honestly, I found that whatever I'm listening to comes out in my free worship. So, case in point, Kim Walker. She's fantastic in free worship. And a lot, if I've been listening to her a lot in my quiet time, it gets in my spirit, and that just comes out. Also, reading the book of Psalms, that's all it is prayers to God. And just getting in the quiet time, getting your word. A lot of times in free worship, I just declare who God is. And it's almost like reminding the people that I'm leading who are worshiping. You know, God is great. God, you are so great. God, you're amazing. God, you are higher than any other, you know. Or just whatever last line you just sang in the song, you sing that. Yeah.
This is probably going to blow your mind, but what is your biggest musical influence right now?
I have really loved Adele lately. Love her singing style. I feel like that is really in right now. The way she sings, and that kind of like smoky but powerful. I'm attracted to powerful vocals. You know, Carrie Job.
Like me.
Carrie Job is fantastic, has a great heart of worship, but that's not my vocal style. My vocal style is more, you know, the Kim Walkers, I'm really attracted to, if I could, I would sing like Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey, but I can't.
Wow.
But really right now it's been Adele. Absolutely love her style.
Wow.
Or this other girl, her name's Daniela Mason. If you haven't heard of her, go look her up. She's fantastic. She's really like, just awesome. You need to look her up.
I'm going to break the news right now. Worship music is not hard to play.
No.
Like, it saddens me that...
unless you're playing like Israel Houghton.
But even still, well, no, that's a lie. Israel's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But for 90% of worship, especially for guitar-driven worship,
yeah.
which would be the Hillsongs, it would be the Jesus cultures, it would be that genre, it is not hard to play. We can't define ourselves by that being hard. So one of the most effective ways that I've gotten more skilled in worship is to go outside of worship.
Yeah. And
I get flack from a lot of people, and there's a lot of pastors that would even disagree with that. But I wouldn't play AC/DC at church, but I've had students who have come and asked to learn an AC/DC song, so I've had to teach it to them. And I've learned technique, chords, cadence, stuff like that from an AC/DC song.
Right. And for those of you that are, you know, your voice is your primary instrument, I would say the same thing. Listen to whatever style attracts you and whatever style you would like to emulate in your worship leading, or even in just whatever, you know, your karaoke singing, you know.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. What I do is I listen to it in my car, and if they have a really cool run that I like, or a vocal flip, or whoa, what did she just sing there? I rewind it over and over and over and over until I get it. And I break it down. They have these cool apps. I don't know if you know this. They have this cool app. I don't know what the name is, but it actually, you can put you download it on your phone and play a song through it, but you can actually slow down the tempo.
I did not know that.
I heard it from my dad. He's pretty smart.
What up,
I know.
Dad?
I have it.
High five, David.
You can actually slow down the song to hear exactly what they're doing, which would work great with, you know, drummers, guitar players.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. There's so many guitar parts that have a note or two that you're going, that just flew by.
Yeah.
What is that?
What was that?
Like,
exactly. And then even vocalists, you know, oftentimes we get intimidated by certain, you know, genres and certain, you know, styles. But really all it is just a sequence of notes that if you slow down and practice it enough, you can speed it up, and then you've got to run.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
Thank you for coming in, Lacie.
Thank you so much for
all the way
having
from
me.
Phoenix.
Phoenix. I'm in Canada right now.
I will cut you.
Whatever. Don't knife me. I'll shank you. Well, that's it for Friend of Worship this week. Tune in next time for some more awesome things that my super hot fiance has to tell to you. And we'll see you soon.